I think just like how it smells, to each person, it's gonna like have a different effect. And that's why if it smells, a cool rule of thumb is like if it smells good to you, it's probably something that your body needs, and if it doesn't, then that's probably not going to be the strain for you. So I don't know, all of that's what it's cool. I think people are too scared to approach cannabis, but like there's just so many different things out there to try, and I think that's what's scary about it. But honestly, if you keep it simple, it's actually a really great experience. Like I think stick to like CBD, salves and maybe the CBD pens, but honestly, I think natural is the way to go. Like I'm usually only smoking joints. Like I don't really believe in vape pens and all that stuff. Like this is a cool product because it's the flower itself literally just frozen until you get what you can from it and then turn it into another way to get high.
Well, it's funny you say that too with the vaping, because I've had people say with this product like, oh, I love vaping's my go-to, but now with this, I'll take this just because it hits a little quicker.
Yeah.
You don't gotta wait around. But and I love when people say they love flower, because I'm always a huge flower guy, and I'm like, well, this product's right here is still for you too. It's like, and it's crazy the way different people, and I'm sure you've seen it, interacting with customers more like on a bud tending side, but it's just like seeing what people love, and even working some of these like,
well, and that's the thing too that I want to say about like bud tending, and what I've noticed is like it seems as though a lot of people want to recommend what's cool and what's popular on the market versus actually like taking the time to get to know the customer and like what they're looking for, and kind of asking what their taste is. Like, a lot of people, if they're into the fruitier things or if they're into something more dank and like skunkier smelling, and like, asking little questions like that helps you navigate like where, or like kind of find something that can work for them in the way that they want it to. And I've had so many customers come back and be like, whoa, like what you gave me was what I was looking for, like that hit. And I'm like, yeah, I know. And it wasn't even the most expensive thing on the shelf, because I'm not trying to make money here. I want you to get the product that you need, because that's what you came here for.
and it feels good, because I can say that for sure, just from a bartending background, when you make somebody the right drink, the right thing, and they come back in like, and then like somebody else will try to make it like, no, I want Jack to make it. He made it good. Like I guess the little things like that gives you a little
and
boost.
People
like,
get kind of jealous about that too. And they're like, well, why? It's like, well, maybe you should like pay attention to their needs and like, and don't, it's acting out of service, not for like yourself. If you're going at it for the tips, or like going at it because you want to sell out this jar so that you get to take it home at the end of the night, then like you're clearly coming from the wrong place, but if you're coming at it from like, hey, I want to help people, and like this is a product I believe in, I think it will help them, then you're gonna sell shit like crazy, and people will trust you. And trust is the most important thing out of, they're trusting you to literally get high. Like that's a big responsibility, you're in control of their high, and I always told people like, well, you know where to find me, come back if you don't like it, but I know you will. And I think it's like, it's the confidence in knowing that they're going to enjoy it because you took the time to like ask them the right questions, and all of those things are like so important.
Yeah. It's the little details that make,
yeah. And also like having knowledge about it yourself too. Like also like, why are you smoking too? Like what do you need it for? Like, are you doing it more recreationally? Are you doing it to like, suppress some things? Are you doing it for pain? Are you doing it for anxiety and like depression? All those things, which it's a very helpful tool, but even then you still have to be mindful about like consumption, like how frequently, and I think that's when people start to like get into dabs, and there's like people doing like 28-gram dabs, and it's like, what the fuck? Well, that's like so not necessary. Like the human body was not meant to have that much concentrated weed at one time. Like it's not necessary. It's like, what are you trying to achieve? And now forevermore, until you like let go, you have to keep up with your tolerance that you've like built, you know? And also, the effects of dabbing too, like you can get this crazy stomach disease, like where it's like it causes vomiting and like it causes your like stomach to like, you know,
was that
quiver.
like the cannabis hyperemesis syndrome I've heard about?
Basically. And it's true.
Yeah,
and it's like, it is dangerous. And like, there are a lot of, that's why it's like, I understand where people are coming from when they like, you know, want to think of like the stereotypical stoner, but I've had a lot of like adults where I was like 19 and I like got a lot of 30-year-olds to smoke weed for the first time, but it was because like they trusted me to like make sure that I wasn't giving them too much because I know how much it is.
You know the game.
Yeah, like if you're like going to share that experience with someone, you need to make sure that you're kind of not like babysitting them, but like you're now in charge of like their highs. So you need to like kind of make sure it's a good one. Like keep your vibes high, like make sure you're in a mental state to be like helping someone through their mental state.
Well, I had Gio on the podcast who started a channel called Bacon and Baking, and he's like, I think anybody that wants to do psychedelics should smoke a strong sativa first. I was like,
yeah.
I was like, that's a pretty interesting thought, man. I kind of like it.
Actually, that's true because you know what? Which I love consciousness and spirituality and all of those things, and I believe that like in like the third dimension, fifth dimension, and I think fifth dimension is all about love and like being true, genuine, like conscious creators and like literally manifesting your desire and like getting things a lot quicker than you would have thought possible before. Like things that you thought were impossible, you like are like, no, why not? And then you achieve those things. But it's a level of perception. It's not like an actual like difference in like going to another dimension. It's like, no, it's a higher level of thinking. And
that energy radiates, like you're saying too.
Yeah,
like,
you can, and you will attract people too. Not always great ones because, you know, like lights attract moths, but like, but you know, you attract people who might need what you're giving off and they might be inspired by it as well. But that's a whole lesson in itself of